Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishamahai. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidmanam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhamam Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bihitani Shacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Ramannasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhavatu Me Bho Rama Mamudhara Mata Ramo Matpita Ramachandraha Swami Ramo Matsakha Ramachandraha Sarvasvam Me Ramachandro Dayalu Nanyam Jane Naiva Jane Na Jane. Hari Om. A teacher can teach us many things. Yes? Say yes. The teacher teaches us A to Z. A to Z. A to Z. A to Z, A to Z. Same difference. Teacher teaches us 1 plus 1, addition, subtraction. And as we grow, then the teacher also begins to teach more and more complicated topics. And a good teacher teaches the topic. This is the curriculum. They teach. You know? A better teacher clears all of our doubts. Because every student learns differently. So not all teachers understand or approach teaching in that way. So a better teacher still will seek to clear the doubt of that student and all students. But a great teacher transforms a student, not just with regards to the subject matter, but with regards to life, how they think, how they see the world. I'm sure many of us have had teachers in our lives whose impression upon us is not because they taught the subject matter very well. My favorite teacher was Spanish and math, actually. They too are my favorite teachers. And that doesn't mean I failed math all the way from 1 till... I just passed because I had to. Not for the subject matter did I like them, but for who they were as people. It's a great teacher. So the role of a teacher in our lives, that much we cannot argue with. A teacher is quite important, we should say. Essential, even. So what to say for a guru? Guru is indispensable. Without a guru in our lives, where will we go, really? How will we find our way spiritually. The teacher shows our way through the world. The guru shows us our way through the spiritual path. And the guru takes us from the ABCs of Vedanta all the way to Brahma Jnanam. But there is one thing in this world that cannot be taught. There are many things that probably cannot be taught. But one thing for sure is not a subject matter. Not for any classrooms or lecture halls or satsang halls even. That thing is called as bhakti. Nobody can teach us bhakti. We grew up seeing our parents, Jai Jagadisha Hare. But that is not bhakti that they taught. That is culture. That is tradition. That is samskaras that they imparted. But bhakti is something we have to live. Bhakti is something we have to experience. Bhakti is something that must be felt and awakened in our hearts through our lives' experience. Nobody can make us fall in love with Bhagavan. We have to do that for ourselves. So, this bhakti then, how do I develop this? The question is, and if you're saying it cannot be taught, then good. We can stop satsang now. No 3-night Shabri Katha, because we can't teach it. So why are we here? Right? We cannot teach you how to love, but Bhagwan can teach us the path to getting there. So why should I say more when Sri Ramchandraji himself gives us the means, the doorways? And through the form of a simple tribal woman in the name of Shabri. I'm sure everyone here knows very well the story of Shabri Mata, Dilli woman. This is taking us in Aranyakan. We are just after Doha, number 33, I think. For those of you who have your Ramcharitmanas, PDFs or otherwise. Shabri Mata, as we know, is a simple woman. She grew up, her father was a hunter. And she grew up in that simple tribal lifestyle. No education, not literate. And just doing whatever it is that they did in their particular tribe. And then, as is the custom, her marriage was arranged, and the night before her own wedding, just before, she noticed that they were slaughtering the animals. For what? For a wedding feast. And that did not sit well with her. So in the middle of the night, young as she was, she runs away. And running away from that, she runs to the ashrama of Matanga Rishi. And there she takes Sharana. She surrenders at the feet of the Rishi and asks him to take care of her. And so he does, because it's the nature of Munis. Santa Mahatmas, their nature is to take care of us. So, and ashramas are the place we go to when we want some rest from our shrama. So the Rishi takes her in, and she becomes his dasi. We know she sweeps, she picks fruits, she does all of that. And she serves him. Truly, the best example of seva. And then, of course, as is the end for all of us, the time for the rishis to drop that body is very near. Now she has been serving for many, many years, quite old herself. And so he is there lying in his deathbed. And she herself is in grief, sorrow. If you're going, what will happen to me? I was your dasi. Now you're leaving. Who will take care of me? These other brahmacharis you have here, they ignore me. They go about their business, head in the book, because they're all Mahan Purushas, great jnanis. They don't care about me, Because all this time she's been serving, no recognition, nobody saying her name, nothing like that. And the Rishi says, my dear, you don't need to grieve. your devotion through your seva will bring you mukti. So she said, okay, good, I'll come with you then. He said, no, you have a little bit to go, but you just wait. Sri Rama is coming and he will give you that mukti. Saying this, the Guru departs. Now what can she do? The Guru told wait, so now she has to wait. So she waits. Every day she sweeps the forest floor. There's no nice concrete. Forest floor she's sweeping. Why? Bhagwan is walking there barefoot, shouldn't have any twigs or branches. He should walk on nice clean ground, not stub his foot anywhere. Daily she picks nice fruits because she wants Bhagwan to eat, nice fruits, nice tasting fruits. And she waits and she waits and she waits and she sits there in the afternoon for someone to approach that ashrama until finally one day the Guru's words are fulfilled. So let us just chant these, we'll just chant very briefly these chaupais there. Just after that, Doha 33, the line starts Tahi. Third chaupai. Tahi de gati Rama udara. Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. 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 Shri Ram Jaya Rama. Tahi de gati Rama udara. Tahi de gati Rama udara. Sabari ke ashram pagudhara. Sabari ke ashram pagudhara. Sabari dekhi Rama griha aaye. Sabari dekhi Rama griha aaye. Muni ke bachan samuji jiya bhaaye. Muni ke bachan samuji jiya bhaaye. Saras jalochan bahu bisala. Sarasi jalochan bahu bisala. Jata mukut sara urabanamala. Jata mukut sara urabanamala. Syam gaur sundar do bhai. Syam gaur sundar do bhai. Sabari pari charan lapthai. Sabari pari charan lapthai. Prema magana mukha bachana naava. Prema magana mukha bachana naava. Puni puni pada saroja siranava. Puni puni pada saroja siranava. Sadar jalale charan pakare. Sadar jalale charan pakare. Puni sundar asana baithare. Puni sundar asana baithare. Kandamula phala surasati. Kandamula phala surasati. Diye Ram kahuani. Diye Ram kahuani. Prem sahit prabhu khai. Prem sahit prabhu khai. Barambar bakhani. Barambar bakhani. पानी जोरी आगे भई तारी,
पानी जोरी आगे बैठारी,
प्रभु ही बिलो की प्रीति अति बाढ़ी,
प्रभु की बिलो की प्रीति अति बाड़ी,
केहि बिरिय स्तुति करऊ तुम्हारा,
केहि विधिया स्तुति करऊं तुम्हारी,
अधम जाति में जड़मति भारी,
अधम जाति में जड़मति भारी,
अधम ते अधम अधम अति नारी,
मते अधम अधमति नारी,
तिन मह मैं मति मंद घारी,
दिन में मति मंदकारी।
श्री राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम
जय जय राम, श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. Actually, it starts mid Chaupai. First line, Tahi Dei Gati Rama Udara. Bhagwan just comes from Kabanda. Kabanda was in the form of a Rakshasa, and Bhagwan returned him to his original form. And then he now journeys on to Shabri Mata's ashram. And see also, now Tulsidas Ji calls, this is Matanga Rishi's ashrama. Now Tulsidas Ji is saying Sabari ke ashram. It's hers. Because she's doing all of the work, you know. Not like, you know, when you have children and one child is home doing all of the work and then the other one gets the house and the will. Right? Shabari is doing all of the work. This is her ashram only. Shabari ke ashram. Pagudhara. Bhagwan comes there to the home of Shabari Mata. Shabari dekhi Rama griha aaye. She sees that form of Bhagwan Sri Ramchandra Ji approaching that ashrama, that griha, a home. Muni ke bachana samuji jiya bhai. Bhagwan is truly an amazing person, better than us. First of all, the patience to sit and wait, because she has to wait for Bhagwan to be born, to go to Gurukula, then he has to go and save Vishwamitra and get married, do all of these things. And finally he gets to come to the forest. And then his wife gets kidnapped also. So she's waiting for all of these things. And then Bhagwan also, he's tied now. His hands are tied. Why? He has to go. He has no choice. The bhakta is waiting for him. Sita Devi is going south. Jatayu already told. Ravana took us south. He has to head south. He has to reverse course to go north to Shabari Mata. This is the power of a bhakta. Number one. Number two, the Rishi told Bhagwan will come. Now, Bhagwan cannot allow the word of the Rishi to go unfulfilled. So for the sake of the bhakta, he will reverse course if he has to. Extend his stay if he has to. Whatever it is, for the sake of the bhakta. And to fulfill the words of the Rishi, to make sure that the Rishi's words are fulfilled. Two things. So Bhagwan's hands are tied. He has to come. And so he comes there. Muni ke bachana. And knowing that Shabari herself fills, her heart is filled with so much of joy. Muni ke bachana samuji jiya bhai. Sarasa jalochana bahu bisala. How beautiful. And she's describing here not just Rama, she's describing both brothers. Eyes, lotus-like eyes, big strong arms. Jata mukutasara ura banamala. That jata on his head. They're living in the forest, more than a decade now. There are no barbers or hairdressers around. So the hair is a little bit matted. And on his hair, decorated, what malas are they wearing? Flowers and leaves of the forest. Syam Gaura Sundara do Bhai. One brother dark, Bhagwan, Shyama. And one Gaura, Lakshmana, fair. Sabari pari charana lapa tayi. Overwhelmed with love, she falls at the feet of both Rama and Lakshmana. Prema magana, drowning in that love for the Lord. Mukha bachananava, she cannot speak. Arjuna falls in the battlefield, he cannot speak, not for love of the Lord, but for fear of death. Here, she cannot speak for love of Bhagavan. There, Shankaracharya ji describes Arjuna as drowning in moha. Here, Shabari is drowning in bhakti. Puni puni parasaroja saranava. Again and again, she bows her head to that lotus feet of Bhagavan. Sadara jalale charana pakhari. How with great reverence and so much tremendous love, respect, reverence to Bhagavan. Again and again, she bows to their feet. Puni sundara asana tari. And when a guest comes to our home, we give them a nice seat, invite them inside, let them sit nicely, be comfortable, wash their feet, do all of that. She does all of the hospitalities. And then Kanda Mula Palasurasa Ati Rama Kahuani. Prema Sahita Prabhu Khai Barambara Bakhani. People always ask, hey, this Shabari is giving juta fruits, juta food. She's eating and giving. So why it is that, if Shabari can eat and give, why can't I? Why everything I have to do like this and do like that? It should be placed this way and placed that way. We had one Pandit in our ashram in Trinidad. Some of you might know him. You may have met him, Pandit Bisasa. He used to remind me of Ashokji. White beard. And always in the white kurta. One day I actually mistook. He was when you all had come to the ashram. For puja, he would, this Pandit Bisasa, he would everything check and make sure it's perfect. The flowers even, not one flower should be even slightly brown. Not one leaf should be even torn. When I say perfect, he would make sure. And people used to get so upset. Oh, what is the big deal? This, we know how people get. Why are you making such a fuss? Bhagwan doesn't care about this. Bhagwan doesn't care about that. Why are you making such a fuss about it? See, Bhagwan might not care about the literal thing, but he cares about the bhava with which we offer. Because you go to the store and you buy something for yourself, and you come home and you realize it's dented or scratched or torn. First thing, we don't hesitate to get a refund or return. Isn't it true? Say yes or no. Yes. So for Bhagwan, we should give things that are not nice. The tree is filled with flowers, and we should give old flowers? Torn flowers? No. The bhava with which we give makes a difference. Bhagwan does not care about the fruit. It's all his anyway. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritaha Prana Pana Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidha. He is the one eating it. As far as he is concerned, he already started eating it. He has just come to finish his meal. That is all. Because Aham Pachami. He is a Vaishvanara, eating on the inside. Shabari was not the one to bite from that fruit. It was Bhagwan himself who bit from that fruit. And Bhagwan himself has come to finish his meal. So who are we to judge? Oh, so now we should have that. I should taste the prasad before we give Naivedya. No. If your bhava is Shabari's bhava, fine. If my bhava is not there, I should give first. Then I partake. So we should let this half-eaten fruit thing put to rest. Next time somebody asks, you tell them. You tell them this. Pani jori aage bhai tari standing before Bhagwan, she folds her hands in prayer, in surrender to the Lord. Prabhu hi bilo ki preeti ati badi, and looks at him with eyes filled with such love. Then Bhagwan, kehi bidi astuti karau tumhari. I don't know how to praise you. I never learned many Vedic mantras. I don't know Sahasra, Shirsha, Purushaha, nothing like that I know. I don't know anything. Can't even read anyway. So how can I praise you? No mantras, no stutis, no stotram, no nothing. Tell me. And that too, adhama jati. I come from such a low caste. May jadamati bhari. That too, I myself am not so intelligent. Jadamati. Adhamate adhama adhama atinari. Amongst the lowest, women are low. Amongst the low, women are lower. And amongst them, I am the lowest because why? Mahamati manda aghari. Hey aghari, O destroyer of sins. Now, lines like this shackles people's feathers. Why is she saying women are lower? Well, first of all, let us keep in mind context. Nothing should ever be read out of context. What is the context? She herself is a tribal woman. She was born into a tribal society. Not Brahmana, not Vaishya, not Shudra, not Kshatriya. None of them. Outcast. Not belonging to the four Varnas, number one. So in a tribal society, value is measured by utility, isn't it so? This is just the way. It would be lovely if it wasn't. But we are by no means idealists. We are realists. So in a society like that, people's values are measured by their utility. In communities like that are very tribal in nature, this is how they. And that has nothing to do with, I don't think that has much to do with academics either. Very academic, very, people who have lots of education also think like that, based on utility only, isn't it? So in a society like that, that is how they view things. And this is how she was raised to think in that type of society. We don't have to accept it as, it need not be the way we are, but we must understand it is the way Shabri was raised. It need not apply to us in that way. So she says, Adhama, te adhama, adhama ati nari, tinamahu me mati manda aghari, O aghari, destroyer of all aghas, of all sins, papahani. Kaha ragupati sunu bhamini bada. Oh, we didn't see that. We'll chant those lines. Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Rama Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Rama Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Kaha Ragupati Sunu Bhamini Bata. Manav ek bhagati karanata. Jati pati kula dharma barai.
Jati pati kula dharma barai.
Dhana bala parijana guna chaturai.
Dhana bala parijana guna chaturai.
Agatihina nara so hai kaisa.
Bhakti so
Binu jal barid dekhiya jaisa. Navadha bhagati kahau to hi pahi. Savadhana sunu dharu man mahi. Pratama bhagati santana kara sanga. Dusari rati mama katha prasanga. Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram,
Jaya Jaya Rama. Syavar Ramachandra ki Jai. So in great humility, Shabri Mata looks to Bhagavan and says, I don't know how to praise you. I don't have the words. I don't know any vidis. I know nothing. And Bhagavan says, Kaha Raghupati, Sunu Bhamini Bata. Oh, noble woman. So she is describing herself as Adhamate Adhama Adhama Ati Nari. Bhagavan is calling her noble woman. Bhamini says, listen to me. Manav eka bhagati kara nata. There is only one thing that matters to me. Bhakti. Eka bhagati. Manav. To me only, all that counts is bhakti. And then he tells what? Jati. Whatever might be your caste. Pati. Whatever might be your clan. Kula. Your lineage. Dharma. Your duties. Your job in this world. Barai. Whatever sense of fame you might have. Then dhana, however much or however little wealth. Bala, strength. Parijana, family. Guna, qualities. Chaturai, virtues, qualities, cleverness, chaturai. Bhagati hina, but without bhakti. Naraso hai kaisa. None of it matters. Like what? Binu jalabarida. Dekhiya jaisa. Have you seen a cloud without water? And what value is it then? It's just steam. And, it is the human nature to take things and make it complicated. People ask, the Shastras say don't get wealth. Shastras don't say don't get wealth, but we should ask ourselves, how much wealth is needed? See, I might need a certain amount to live. We live in a capitalist world, so it is needed. And wealth has always been there in some form or the other. Our particular era, wealth is in the form of money. These days, investments, but still. So I need a certain amount. My needs have to be met. Even to be comfortable in life, get a good education, all of these things are there. But it's a certain point when all of these needs are met, then wealth beyond that is just acquisition. Because I don't need it to pay a bill. I don't need it to buy food, nothing. Those things are covered. Now it's just about acquisition. And then at the point of acquisition, I should ask myself, am I acquiring it simply for the sake of being, this wealthy person and everybody should know me because I am this great Mahapurusha? Or do I use that wealth for society? And that is the difference. One should acquire. Grahasta's duty is to work, and the Grahasta also has that responsibility. So Grahastas are the ones keeping society moving. When you retire, you retire. You're not contributing to the whole economical rat race anymore. Now you're just benefiting from your hard labor. That's all. Rightfully so. The Grahasta is the one who is working and contributing and keeping that whole cycle moving. So yeah, acquire, no problem. How I use it, however, is what's important. So, what is the wealth of a bhakta? Bhagwan says the wealth is bhakti. Bhakta is one who has bhakti. Because I can have all of it, but at the end of it, if I am just acquiring for greed, if I am devoid of devotion in my heart, then for Bhagwan, it's pointless. You have not used your time, you have not used your abilities, you have not used your knowledge, you have not used your resources, your position in society, or anything to help others. Therefore, what is the point of it? One day soon, every Yamaraj comes for us all. When he comes, name, fame, all of it stays right here. And Bhagwan himself is Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Yashasaha, Shriyaha. He has all of it already. So none of it is of any importance to him, to the Lord. Therefore, for Bhagwan, bhakti is the number one quality. And what is that bhakti he tells? He gives now that first Navada bhakti. Of the 9, he gives the first Prathama Bhagati, Santanakara Sangha, Satsang. Earlier in the same Ramcharitmanas, Tulsidasji writes very famously, Binu Satasanga Viveka Navoi. How does a magnet work? A magnet doesn't reach out and grab any and everything, right? The magnet has to attract a material that is ferromagnetic. Only then, if that material has that capacity, then the magnet, it is attracted to the magnetic field. And then what happens? It starts to tune itself to that magnet. Yeah, and it starts to borrow qualities from that magnet. Now, some materials, the minute you remove it from the field, immediately that magnetism is gone. It returns to its original state. Some materials, it maintains for a little while. Other materials even transforms itself into a magnet itself, somewhat. It becomes magnetic itself. It's rare, but it is there. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. I paid attention in class, you know. This is called satsang. Magnetism. Some people, when we go to satsang, in the beginning, we are like, you know, you sit in satsang and so transfixed, and then, oh, it was so good, such a good speaker, and so funny, and such good jokes, and everything made so much sense. And then after bhajan, then there is bhojan, and then satsang goes out the window, right? Yeah. We walk out, and then we go home, and back to life as normal. Yeah. Those are those kinds of materials that as soon as it pulls away from the magnet, it just immediately goes back. But after some time, that's a very tamasic mind. After some time, when I start to, you know, then I go home because, you know, in July I have to go to India. I have to go to Hyderabad because my niece is getting married. So I have to fit into my clothes, you know. So then when I go to eat that second gulab jamun, oh, no. I remember in satsang, Swamiji, they said, you know, vairagya. So I won't have it. So then I start applying little by little. Then you go home and, you know, the spouse or the child or the parent says something and you get angry and then you, oh, Right. Shamaha, Damaha, all of this thing, right? Control of my senses. All right, I'll practice it. I remember they said it in satsang. I should not get angry, So little by little, some things begin to stick. And I start practicing. Little by little, I start to put it into practice. And then what happens? The tamasic mind from a rajasic mind, slowly, it begins to turn into a more and more sattvic mind. Then satsang begins to make sense to me. Then I seek it. And satsang need not only be like this. Satsang means I have to find myself in the right environment. That environment is the thing that affects me the most. If I am not in the right environment, then you see, that is the people whose company I keep eventually becomes the conversations in my own mind. When I'm with them or not, if I'm around people who are all the time talking all kinds of nonsense, then in my alone time also my mind goes there. Isn't it so? The things, and not just people, the things that I watch, the things that I read, what I listen to, then that's what we keep going back to. That's the thing that attracts us. That's the magnet that pulls us towards it. This is satsang. So it's either satsang in my life or kusang, dussang. That's why most people, when we go to satsang, if my mind is tamasic, then I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. And then I don't want friends also. When my friends start talking about, oh, I have to go to Chinmaya mission. Why are you always going to Chinmaya? Why are you always going to the temple? Why can't you come out with us? I don't want to hear about this. Leave all that in India, because the mind is not attracted to it. We have to be willing. We have to be willing to find such company. And when we find that company, we have to stick close, keep close. That first contact might not change us. That first contact, we walk away and, it's okay. Repeat it. And consistency. Consistency is the key. Sustained contact is the thing that makes a difference. Otherwise, we won't feel that need to return again and again. And the more and more we sustain that kind of contact, the more and more we get close to satsangis, then what happens? Their magnetism, slowly I borrow that until it becomes my own. Until I soon enough become a magnet in my own right. I become that source for others. This is satsang. Then Bhagavan says the next type of bhakti is called Shravanam. Famously in Bhagavatam, Prahalad starts with Shravanam. Bhagavan Sri Ramchandraji starts with satsang. Next he says, Dusari Rati Mama Katha Prasanga. The second type of bhakti is, see, we said satsang need not be pravachan. It need not be necessarily sitting and listening to this in this way, just keeping good company. But even if it is pravachan, and what should eventually happen? Mama prasanga, mama katha prati. You should enjoy it. This is why Sanatana Dharma is truly unique. Many people like to say, all religions are the same. All religions are not the same. We should not think that also. They are not. That is not a bad thing. That is not it is not a negative thing to say. Difference is not bad. Difference is just difference. That's all. You like brown, one likes red. Yeah, we like different colors. Does it make one color better than the other? No. It's just difference. We should understand the differences. Sanatana Dharma is not like any other spiritual or philosophical tradition. Not by any stretch of the imagination. And that is okay also. To each their own path. But if I am a Sanatani, I should understand Sanatan Dharma. And so in our tradition, it starts with when we are children. We are introduced to the stories of the Lord. And not like in a philosophical way either. Bhagwan is introduced as a superhero. He's shown in all of to do amazing things or fun stories like Ganesha, how he runs around his mother and father. Like Sri Krishna stealing butter from the gopis. These stories get the children engaged. They get them excited. They fall in love with Bhagwan. He becomes like a friend to them. Then little by little, as the child grows and the mind also grows, then the stories go from mere stories that are fun and exciting, and slowly we start introducing simple values. Satyam, Shaucham, Ahimsa, Asteyam. Simple values we start to introduce. Then, as that young person grows and matures, the adult now has to move away from stories. Now the adult has to sit and listen to Jnanam. We are too big for stories. A mature mind, the mature seeker, sadhaka, now starts seeking knowledge. We have heard the stories. We have practicing the values. Now jnana has to be there. This is how the Sanatana Dharma is laid out. This is why Varna Ashrama is so important also. Nowadays, nobody follows ashrama. 10-year-olds are acting like 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. 40-year-olds are acting like 10-year-olds. So everything is all uta. Ashrama is very important for this purpose. Because when we are children, we should get children suitable stories. Knowledge that is suitable for a child at their learning capacity. If the child asks, why is it raining? A 4-year-old comes, why does it rain? You're not going to start in a long kahani about the water table and the water cycle. Oh, it's evaporation, and then it goes up into the clouds. And nobody's going to talk about condensation. They can't even say the word. They might ask if it's condensed milk. We make up some fancy story, There's an elephant up there in the sky, and he has a swimming pool, and he dips his trunk, and then when he does like that, he sprays water and it rains. So we tell little kids these kinds of things. In the same way, our stories are meant to entertain them like that. And they start to develop a relationship with Bhagwan. And they enjoy it. We also enjoy it, that is true. But then at some point, our enjoyment has to go from mere enjoyment to learning. But first, rati, we should enjoy it. So from a young age, I have developed that love for listening to the stories, the kathas of Bhagwan, his prasanga, all of his great, leelas. Then as an adult, it becomes like home to me. I get comfort from it. Like, your mother's food gives you comfort. Or at one time it did. Not when you were teenagers. Nobody likes their mother's food when they're teenagers. But when we grow up, we start, Mom, can you make this? Mom, can you cook and freeze and give it to me when you go to college? Yeah. So, rati. Now, what is listening to the stories of the Lord? Listening is not a passive thing. It shouldn't just... Some people, it doesn't even penetrate. This thing hard. Or too much wax in the ears. Nothing goes in. You should listen actively. We spoke about a good teacher, a better teacher, a great teacher. Now, what about a student? Same thing, yeah. A good student takes notes and memorizes and parrots it off and passes the examination. A better student actually tries to understand and, does some critical thinking. And what about great students? The great student, as the teacher tells, immediately that student assimilates that knowledge. It is not just memorized information. Knowledge is information in action. I have to live it. I have to assimilate it. I have to practice it. Many people can study and memorize. It's not so hard. It's not so easy, but it's not so hard also. But every single professional knows simply memorizing notes in a classroom is not going to cut it. Because when you go out into you can't go, oh, wait, let me check my notes. You have to be able to do it right away. That knowledge that we learned in the classroom has to be assimilated so that I can put it into practice in the world, in my workplace. And then it becomes my wisdom. It becomes my lived experience. Listening to the stories of the Lord, that is the way in which I should listen. Fully engage. See how Bhagwan begins this line also. I didn't say it then. See how Bhagwan tells. Savadhan. You pay attention. Make sure your mind is focused. All your personality should be listening to me. Pay attention. Savadhan. Be attentive. Be alert. Be vigilant. This is not just in bhakti also. Jnanam, it is essential. Both margas. Bhakti says there are no qualifications. But even the bhakta must practice vigilance and alertness in life. And then what happens? Bhagwan enters through the air. And when the story of the Lord enters in through the air, it bypasses the intellect and it hits us right in the heart. And then that thing I should hold on to. This is why Tulsi Ramayana is very unique compared to Valmiki Ramayana. Valmiki Ramayana is, of course, the original, the standard. But this Ramcharitmanas can be sung in many, 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 many different ways. And you don't need to know ragas and these things also. It's not necessary. You can just sing. It's the beauty of Ramcharitmanas. You can sing it in any which way. And so, whether I should have satsang in my life. Keep such people in my life that they help me to turn and tune my mind towards the Lord. Then I should start listening to his kathas, start listening to his leelas, and find the joy in it. If I don't find the joy in it, then I shouldn't just say, okay, I don't like it. That's why we have so many forms of God. Mm-hmm. If you don't like stories about Ganesha, no problem. You try Krishna. I don't like Krishna also. No problem. Try Shiva. Try Rama. You try. You'll find somebody you like. As many minds as there are in this world, that many forms of the Lord are there. For each one of us, there is a form of the Lord that is made for us. And if he's not there yet, bet your bottom dollar it will happen. He will make himself into the form that you need in your life to have that, because that's all Bhagwan wants. Eka Bhagati, he says. That is all he wants. Think about me. And people say, well, I think about Bhagwan, but I'm not getting it. I'm not making that connection just yet. So then Bhagwan says, fine. You're coming to satsang? Yes. You're listening to my katha? Yes. Again, Shabri katha. Fine. Here is a guru. Guru pada pankaja seva tisari bhagati amana. Here is a guru. Why is a guru coming third? Well, it's a very simple thing. You have to make a step, no? You sit in your room, people sit in their house whole day. Because everybody's work from home these days. All day, you're sitting in your home, working on a computer. Don't go out, don't do anything. And then, why am I still single and not married? I want to get married. Well, you have to step out of your house at least, You go to the grocery. Everything is Amazon. You're ordering your food on Amazon. Everything is being delivered. You have to at least go outside and meet people. What do you think? They're going to come inside your house? Huh. And this path, prayatna, gives way to prasad. I have to make some effort. The prayatna must be there. The minute I make an effort, a step in that direction, Bhagwan does not hesitate. The prasada will come. This is a guarantee. That's why every day you pass that lottery sign, and you see it every day. 75 million, 100 million, 200 million, 500 million even. LA, it climbs up to the other day it was 500 million. And you think, Bhagwan, let me win the lottery. Let me win, If I win, I promise I'll donate half to the temple. Yeah. Just let me win. Fellow dies. And he goes there to Saket. You didn't let me win. But you never bought a ticket? You should at least buy a ticket. How can you win? We have to buy a ticket. We have to make a step. Prayatna. And through that prayatna, through my self-effort, the prasada comes. The prasada comes in the form of the guru. Bhagwan gives the guru. The guru helps to guide. The guru helps to show us the doorway. And when I am a little bit troubled, unsure, I have some doubts, then the guru is there to give guidance, give me some support. And what should I do in return? What is my dakshina to the guru? Guru Pada Pankaja Seva. This Chinmay mission. This is why we talk about Seva. It's not Chinmay mission. Rama is saying, do Seva. Yeah. Next time they ask, all the Seva you have me doing. Yeah, Rama said. Sri Rama said, do Seva. Krishna also said it. What is Seva, It is not that the guru needs to be served. He doesn't. The guru does not require our seva. It is a seva that helps to chip away the ego from me. Shabri Mata, not once was her name recognized. Not once was it, anybody called and, oh, she was such a great seva. No plaques, no nothing. She just served. And through that seva, the guru gave her the greatest gift of all, Bhagwan. The guru made Bhagwan come there for her. This is the power of seva. What if it doesn't work? Well, you have to buy a ticket, no? You have to try. You have to try. The reason why it doesn't work for many people, it works. I can tell you it works from my experience. The reason why for many people it doesn't work is because they are looking for recognition. Every time something happens, the ego is so strong that I want to be praised. I want to be recognized. I want to be noticed. And when that ego is so strong, seeking this, then it's not seva I am doing. And I experience both sides of it. Personally. I'm not speaking about anybody else. I have no authority to speak on anybody. I can only speak for myself. In our ashram in Trinidad, this is being recorded. You can just edit this part, black it out. It's not it's true, but our Swamiji, not LACMLA Swamiji, CMTT Swamiji. Wonderful person. Always happy, always, has a smile on his face. But that's because you all don't know him the way we know him. Swamiji, we know, man, he is like, if you take that Brillo pad, that iron scrubbing pad, and you scrub your skin with that. I'm telling you. You cry in front of him. He will strip away all of that ego. And it has happened. My God. So many. There were times when I'm never going. This is before Vedanta course and everything, just a chick. I'll go home. I'm never going back to that mission and never going back to that ashram. And the next day, it's like Stockholm syndrome. But the lessons learned, it's not about me. It was never about me. That's why the guru is so important. We keep that ideal of the guru there to remind us, not that, people, you're worshipping the person and this stuff. It's not about that. The guru reminds us it is not about me. Jab main tha, tab hari nahi. As long as I am there, Hari will never come. Tab hari tha, main nahi. But when I go away, Bhagavan is there. That ego has to be stripped away. And that process is painful. This is why many people, for them, seva is very difficult. Because that discomfort of actually stripping away the ego, we cannot bear it. And so we walk away. It's okay. You can walk away. But if I want Bhagwan in my life, may nahi. I have to, that aham has to go away. And Hari has to replace it. It's a very, Kabir Das Ji writes very wonderful dohas. Maybe next time we'll bring Swamiji to do Kabir doha. This is the power of seva. And people think, oh, I did this, I did that, I did it. No, I did nothing. Because if I wasn't there, if Bhagwan's work, last time we were seeing Sundarkand, no? Ram kaj karibe ko atar. No, what is the line from Sundarkand? How does it go again? That's Hanuman Chalisa, that line. None of you remembered also. Mohi kaha Bishram. It ends with that. Ramakaj ki Bishram. When Bhagwan's work is to be done, I should not rest. But it's Bhagwan's work. If I am not there, you think Bhagwan's work will not get done? It will get done. He will find a way. Whoever is there, Bhagwan will find a way to get it done. This we have no doubt. I didn't do anything. And when I go also, the world will not stop when I am no longer here. So how important am I really? Right now, how many people are there alive? 8 billion? 8.5 billion? Something like that. In the course of human history, how many people have been alive? 100 billion? Something like that? Nah, maybe not 100 billion. 40 billion, maybe? Less than 100 for sure. Of that number, let's say 40 billion people, from the first human being to stand up all the way to us today, how many names do we remember? And how many will we remember next generation? These children growing up now, they won't know half the names we knew. I know, you know. They won't know. Abdul Kalam, who is that? They won't know. They live for a generation or two. Once in a while, an Einstein. Once in a while, a Mahatma Gandhi. Once, and even then, once in a life, even then, they're not. Some people like, some people don't like. Once in a while, they come along. And they may stay for some time. The name stays for some time. But they do not last. Because it's the nature of the world. The world is temporary, and everyone in it is also temporary. We're all recycled beings. So that whole thing of it, I should not think about me. Aham, 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 mama, mama, mama. I should think about how can I serve? So I get a guru so that I may serve the guru through whom the guru is nothing other than Bhagwan. The guru is nothing other than Bhagwan. And if you don't believe in one guru, fine. Dattatreya says they're here 24. You find one and you serve it though. And you serve well. And through that seva, that bhakti begins to, bhakti arises when the I go. Main nahi. Yes. All right. So we'll see more tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Bole Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.